Those were the headlines that we're tracking for you this evening. In what's brewing, South Korea's CJ Logistics is doubling down on its India play. The logistics giant has infused $32 million to raise its stake in CJ Darsal from 50% to 56%, reinforcing its commitment to one of Asia's fastest growing logistics markets. Now, the fresh capital will be used to ramp up multimodal infrastructure, invest in green transport, and scale tech-enabled logistics solutions, positioning CJ Darsal for leadership in India's next phase of supply chain evolution. Joining me now to discuss this further is Nikhil Agarwal, the president of CJ Darsal Logistics. Nikhil, thank you so much for taking time out and being here with us on Startup Street. If you could sort of take us through what prompted CJ Logistics to increase its stake to 56% in CJ Darsal at this stage of the India growth story.
I think, hi, first of all, good evening, everyone. I think it's, the bullishness on the Indian market and the way logistics industry in India is booming and the way infrastructure is growing in India. I think that's been the key positioning statement for CJ Logistics to further invest into us, to, double it down and show their focus on the Indian market.
Right, absolutely. And, they've infused about $32 million to power the next phase of growth for the Indian market for CJ Darsal, right? If you could sort of take us through how you're planning to spend these funds and what's going to be new, what are the new offerings on the anvil?
So as CJ Darsal, we have four key business, developments that we generally focus on. One is road, wherein we are looking at alternate fuels as a solution, such as LNG and EV. Then there is multimodal. We further want to, increase our portfolio when it comes to railway services. Currently, we operate almost 150 rakes across India. We want to further, invest more into the rail business. Third is warehousing and distribution. That's been one of our key growth areas. Today, from 2.5 million square feet of warehousing space spanning across 20 warehouses, we further want to, invest and develop that. And fourth bit is technology. So these are the four aspects that we are looking into to invest further.
Absolutely. And what would be the immediate priorities for CJ Darsal's nationwide expansion? Are there, any specific regions or sectors that you're currently targeting?
So we are a pan-India company. I think we've, been there across India and subcontinents, right? So I think key focus areas are alternate fuels, which are on the cards, right? Where we are very aggressively exploring LNG as a fuel. Some of our clients have also been asking for the same. And on the other side is warehousing and then the multimodal that I mentioned.
Absolutely. And if you could sort of take us through the kind of clients that you're currently servicing and working with, what's the demand that you're seeing and how do you plan to sort of grow this client base of yours?
So I think who's who of India's industrial base, we are a B2B contract logistics company. So we work across sectors with some of the top names that, we all know, right? And I think ESG as a norm is being talked about a lot more in the recent times. Now we believe that OEMs have started offering good EV products and LNG. Infrastructure also is, catching up and being developed. So that's why we are more bullish on them. And that's where, we are trying to be more focused upon. As a matter of fact, from last 2 years, entire emissions for CJ Darsal are mapped. We rather work closely with our clients, show them the emissions that we are today incurring and how that can be saved through rail, multimodal, as well as through such alternate fuels which are available.
Right. And if you could sort of take us through the kind of revenues that you're currently clocking, how big is the India market right now? And, where do you hope to end this year? What's profitability looking like?
So last year, we almost, I think numbers are being audited as of now, but we are close to around 5,200 crores in revenue, which was almost a 15% growth. We believe similar sort of a growth level should continue in the coming years. And hopefully more of, alternate fuels would come in, more focus on rail multimodal would be there as, some of the key projects that we are undertaking.
Right. And speaking of alternate fuels, what role will next generation technologies play in CJ Darsal's transformation? Can you sort of share examples of digital or AI-led solutions in the pipeline?
Still under a lot of exploration. We've already kicked in our AI bit of work. We are still exploring where all can that play a big role. Some bit of, I think, a lot of technology-led initiatives are being taken at grassroots levels where, we could have our pilots, drivers, being connected to it. There could be more visibility of things. How we are taking all this technology and visibility to our clients end of the day so that better optimizations at all stakeholders levels can come in. So that's where the key focus is.
Right. And you also kept mentioning alternate fuels. How is CJ Dassel integrating sustainability into its logistics offerings? Are there plans to adopt electric or alternative fuel fleets? And how soon will we see that happen? Because you've mentioned that you're working on it.
So I think this year we should definitely see some of those active role play in investments going into EVs as well as LNGs. EV, I think primarily we believe it's a short haul intra-city sort of a solution where we've done some bit of trials. It has shown us good. Obviously, they are more environmental sustainable, as we all know. But I think financial sustainability also plays a key role. And we believe there is a solution in the intra-city distribution model. On the LNG, we believe is a more long-haul, heavy-haul segment. That's where, from diesel, we can migrate into LNG. Infrastructure is still a concern there because we don't have enough LNG fuel pumps on most of the sectors in India today. We've been talking to a lot of fuel suppliers or the gas suppliers for LNG. Hopefully, we'll be able to connect all the dots here and move forward in the next 3 to 4 months' time.
Right, absolutely. All right, Nikhil, we're completely out of time, but thank you so much for joining us here on Startup Street.
Thank you. My pleasure. Thanks a lot.
And moving on, menswear.